This is a video on how to convert from grams to moles of a substance and then back from moles to grams of a substance. So the first example, let's say that we have 10.0 grams of, we'll go with NaCl, and we want to know how many moles of NaCl do we have. Well, I always start these conversion problems with a T-chart. The bottom left gets scribbled out, and what I'm given goes in the top left. So in this particular problem, I'm given 10.0 grams of NaCl. What I want to find goes in the top right. I want to find moles of NaCl. The bottom right takes the units from what's given. So in this case, it would be grams of NaCl go down here. And the reason why is now I can cancel out grams of NaCl. That way my answer is only going to have units of moles of NaCl, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So that's an important step to make sure my units are correct. Now I do have to find the molar mass of NaCl simply by adding up an Na and a Cl, and I get as a side note that the molar mass is 58.45 grams per mole. Now if I look at the units there, that is 58.45 grams in 1 mole. So I'm always going to put a 1 with a mole and then the molar mass with the grams. No matter if it's on the top or the bottom, the molar mass always has to go with the grams. So now I simply have to do the math. So if you take out your calculator, you're multiplying the top two numbers and then dividing by the bottom. So that would be 10 times 1, which is still 10, divided by 58.45. When you do that, you get 0.171. I'm keeping it at 3 decimal places because I need to check and make sure I don't need to round up or if I should keep it the same. So my final answer is 0.17 moles of NaCl, keeping 2 places after the decimal, and this 1 right here would tell me I don't need to round the 7 up. My second example is a reverse calculation. I'm actually going from moles to grams. So say I arbitrarily pick that I have 0.57 moles of, let's pick something slightly different. Let's do sodium sulfate, because I found the molar mass of that in my molar mass video. And I want to know how many grams of sodium sulfate do I have. I start with my T-chart again, my squiggly. Now if you look up to our first example, what's given goes in the upper left. Well, in this problem, it's not grams, it's actually moles. So I'm going to put my 0.57 moles of Na2SO4 in the top left. I'm going to put what I want in the top right. I want to find grams, so I'm putting grams of Na2SO4 in the top right. And I drop down my units to my bottom right. So my units from the given are moles of Na2SO4. So I'm going to drop those down here, knowing that I can now cancel these out. From my previous problem, I found that the molar mass was 142.07 grams per mole. What that means is in 1 mole, I have 142.07 grams. So in 1 mole, I always put my 1 with the mole, I have 142.07 grams. When I do that math out, I'm multiplying the top two numbers and then dividing by the bottom. So I have 0.57 times the molar mass, which is 142.07. And then I'm dividing by 1, which gives you 80.979. Again, I'm keeping 3 numbers at the decimal to decide how I should round. And my units are grams of Na2SO4. Now, if I look at that, this 9 tells me I need to round up. So I would get 80.98 grams of Na2SO4 as my answer. Just as a note, looking at these two problems, what you'll notice is when you're going from grams to moles, you divide by the molar mass. When you're going from moles to grams, you multiply by the molar mass because they're essentially the opposite operation.